I think of intellectual freedom as that concept that we should all have the right to read and access information from a variety of perspectives, information on a variety of ideas without any restrictions. Well, really, I think most often when somebody challenges a book, they are looking to censor the book in some way on some level. So it's not just that they disagree with a book, but it's that they want the access limited for other people. And so that challenge often leads to censorship, which directly impacts somebody else's intellectual freedom, somebody else's rights to read a variety of materials on a variety of topics and ideas.
Maybe topics almost more than themes. A lot of times we're looking at sexual content or what people perceive to be sexual content. When we look at the list, it's over and over again. Issues of race and religion. Really, I kind of look at it as issues of otherness or those kind of hot topic issues in society. So it's interesting because a book may be challenged on race grounds, whereas the book is actually working against racism, but it all kind of gets lumped in. In education, we see a lot that it's not appropriate for the age group. And one of the participants here today in the workshop said, well, who decides? You know, who decides appropriate? So as educators, we look at developmental appropriateness and what kids are able to understand at different levels.
The upstairs room book challenge surprised me quite a bit. That occurred in the mid-1990s in a town in Oklahoma, and I was a high school library media specialist at the time. The book is an autobiographical account of a woman's experiences during the Holocaust as a 10-year-old in which she and one of her sisters had to go into hiding. They were taken in by a Dutch family, and they actually had to live in an upstairs room for almost 3 years of her life. The book is very powerful, and it's talking about a true experience. And yes, there is some language in it that people object to, but the story itself is so powerful, and to me it overshadows the language. The fact that people want to keep everyone from reading that book bothered me then, and it still bothers me to think about that.
You know, some of them are funny. William Steig, Sylvester and the Magic Pebble, which is just one of the most wonderful stories ever written for kids, and it's about love and faithfulness and hope. Was challenged because Steig, with a wink wink, portrayed the policemen as pigs. All of the animals in the book, or people in the book, are animals. So in that sense, yeah, some of them are just kind of fun. But surprising, not really, because I think we see these trends again and again. I think it's important to remember that challenges often come out of fear. I'm a parent, and it's a scary, scary thing to be a parent, because you want to protect your kids and you want them to be safe and have the best, and you want to be able to address things with them, maybe than getting it from the media. I think part of the fear, though, comes from the way we've taught books, that here's this book, learn it, rather than teaching people to engage in dialogue about a book. And if we could make that paradigm shift a little bit, perhaps the people who said, let's not talk because that's dangerous, would have some concerns. But I think if everybody's voice really could come to the table and say, well, this bothers me, or this is what I think, we'd have a whole different climate.
Oh, there's so many things you want to say. It's so easy to overwhelm people. I think the thing to do is just know why you're teaching this particular book. to know if there are other books that you would use in addition to it or instead of it, because probably there's no book that's absolutely non-replaceable. So be aware of what options are, and be aware of where your students' maturity and interest levels are, so that you're pairing up a book that meets that particular student or group of students' needs.